Good afternoon. Well, happy time zone, I should say, everybody.
That's
We're
right.
back again for double AASLR, and I'm here with Joff. We're going to spend
Hello.
15 minutes talking to Joff. How you doing,
Hey,
Joff?
I'm doing well. So 15 minutes talking to me. I didn't have a better title than that. So Ryan came to me and goes, so what are you going to call this thing? I'm like, I don't know. How about 15 minutes talking to me? So that's what we're going to do. Um, so anyway, so good to be here. Hello out there, however many of you are spending a little bit of your Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday whatever. It might be Wednesday if you're in Australia. If you're in Australia, that's great. Happy to see you, but it's really early in the morning for you. Actually, not so bad now. But anyway, I don't know. So what we're gonna do, Ryan? You got any things that you want to promote or anything before I kick off with a few fun things?
Well, guess we could start with your Antisyphon classes, and I'm trying to bring up the webpage right
Oh, sure.
now
Yeah.
because I'm doing it live.
So AASLR
There's one of them.
is a brand new technology that we're going to promote. No, I'm just kidding. AASLR stands for Antisyphon. Oh, geez, I can't even say it. Antisyphon Address Space Layout Randomization. You know,
Yes.
ASLR is Address Space Layout Randomization. So that's another way of us saying this is a random mini podcast, mini webcast from Antisyphon. That's
Yes.
basically.
I don't think maybe once or twice we've actually said what that means, why we call this thing AASLR. So it's probably good to say that again.
Well, I mean, I think we defined it. I don't know exactly why we're calling it that, but we're doing it. And
That's what I
yeah,
was told we're calling it, and I'm sticking with
right. So
it.
we're committed now. That's important. All right. So look, as far as Antisyphon goes, that some of you may not know, Antisyphon is an affordable quality training option that the crew at Black Hills and beyond bringing to you in the information
Mhm.
security industry. We really believe in two things. One is trying to bring our experience and share it with the world, and the second thing is to bring it to you in an affordable format. So that's what the Antisyphon Training.com website and all of the content that we are producing there actually means. We do
And
both
that's why we
live.
are here.
Yeah, and that's why we are here, right? We
That's why you're
do both
watching
live.
Antisyphon.
Um, my ear. I've had this problem with my ear all summer. It's a weird thing. Anyway, it's not summer anymore. We do both live and on demand training options at antisyphontraining.com. So there we go. Finally said it. And so, Ryan, as a part of that, I have currently two courses that are listed with antisyphontraining.com. One of my courses is a 4-hour course, and the other one is a 16-hour course. The 4-hour course is
Which
what
is
Ryan's
this one.
playing right now, is something called Regular Expressions, Your New Lifestyle. And Regular Expressions, Your New Lifestyle is essentially, well, just something that was fun one day. I was like, you know what? I had this realization. I was chatting with one of the guys in the company. I was like, regular expressions are a universal skill that is needed in the information security community. And furthermore, regular expressions are one of those things that completely transcend different technologies. So I thought it'd be really nice to put together a 4-hour training that covered the different places that regular expressions can be used and leveraged and teach you about regular expressions at the same time. So highly recommend that you attend either a live session with me, and actually I'm not doing as many live sessions because we also have the on-demand sessions with regular expressions, your new lifestyle. So yeah, check it out. I think it would be super cool if you would take that class, and it helps me with my beer drinking habits. No, I'm just kidding. You probably don't want to help me with that beer drinking habits because I'm trying to work out and get fitter. Um,
So if you
what
don't
else?
know much
Oh,
about regular expressions, how would you explain what that is if you're a newcomer to all of this stuff and you want to learn everything
Well,
you can.
so, the brief 101 is that regular expressions is actually a really old technology, right? Regular expressions as a concept, were developed in about the mid 1950s by a gentleman named Stephen Klein, I think Klein maybe. But anyway, regular expressions are a text pattern matching based mechanism. They're not a programming language. And so when we get into talking about regular expressions, we talk about this pattern matching idea. And regular expressions became really tied strongly with the Unix operating system back in the early days, because Unix was very, very focused on text processing at that particular time in history. And, if you think about all the things that they were doing at the time, things like PostScript and GROF and ROF and man pages and all this good stuff, text processing was really, really important, and regular expressions kind of fed right into that, and POSIX regular expressions came in there. And this, well, I can't teach the whole class right now, but you should come check out the class sometime. It's really cool. There is a cheat sheet. I do want to show you one thing. Can I share screen easily here, Ryan?
Yeah, that's and on your screen there should be a little up arrow screen icon.
Cool. I see. So I got a little company that I have called Rivergum Security that I use to just sort of publish my training materials through. And there's a regular expressions cheat sheet in a GitHub repository. That's
Can
on the
you
screen
copy
right
me
now.
that link right there, and I can share it in the
Yeah,
chat?
I will. I can copy that link. But anyway, if you click on the PDF in there, there's this awesome, super duper cross-referenced table of different regular expressions in different languages and techniques and so on. It's rather cool. So I don't know, just something that you might want to do. I'm going to copy that link in for Ryan so he can paste it out into the chat for you, and then you can check that out at some point. And that is also part of the class, of course. And that would be like, fun and stuff. Somebody else already published it? Was that you, Ryan? Anyway. All right. Cool.
We both published it. Yeah, that me and someone else.
Everybody jumped on it at once. I'm saying a lot of ums. Sorry, I don't mean to say a lot of ums. The other class that I teach, really quickly, is that I have a class called Enterprise Attacker Emulation and C2 Implant Development. It's a very long title. But this particular class is kind of like Joff's brain on steroids, and all dumped out sort of 2 to 3 years of my life, all in one class. So it's a really bizarre kind of journey about C2 channels, about lots of different malware shellcode loader techniques. It's just a lot of different crazy cool things that I've done in the company, and I just sort of wanted to capture into one sort of course. And the challenge and the fun part about this class is it covers multiple programming languages. I go all over the place in terms of shellcode loader techniques. I develop a complete C2 infrastructure in the class. There's way too much in the class than anybody could ever possibly consume in the 16 hours. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of niche-y and just interesting stuff. So if you're interested in a lot of shellcode loaders and different techniques for malware dev and C2 implant development techniques, then that might be a class for you. And now Ryan,
we've got a teaser.
We've got a teaser. I have an announcement, something that I've been working on for the past probably 2 months or so, is to put together a 16-hour format class for an introduction to Python. And I'm really excited that this class is coming out because I've always wanted to teach Python sort of from the beginner level up as a class. So this 16-hour class is ready to go now, and it's going to be brought to fruition in the new year. Hopefully, so the other teaser here is that the Antisyphon Training group, our logistics group that covers all of the training company, basically, we are going to have a training summit early next year. I think the dates are being locked in right now, but probably late February is around about that time period. And it is my intention to teach the Introduction to Python class at that particular summit.
It's debut class.
Debut class, yeah. So that ought to be a bunch of fun. And as a part of that class, right at the end, I have some teaser techniques that are offensive information security related. I call the very last module in the class, see if I remember the words I used. I called it, I'm looking up the slides literally right now, the Pen Testing Python Buffet. And in that little end of the class piece, I do a little bit of Python code for some DNS reconnaissance, some email stuff, a little bit of AWS S3, and then some shellcode execution techniques as well. So we're going to have so much fun in the Python class. And I'm just psyched. I'm really, really, really psyched to be able to teach this. Wow. So
we've got a few people excited to hear more about it and maybe even take the class.
Yeah,
so,
I'd love
so
it.
We don't have the full details yet, but we can tell you that it's something that will be happening. But all the finer details still need to be worked out.
Exactly. Look, you know what? I could even give you some teaser introductory slides. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, snap.
You want to see some teaser introductory slides? Now, Ryan, I've got to ask you, if I go into PowerPoint presentation mode, how am I going to get that to stream out onto the stream here? Because I'm a bit video stupid here.
If you share your screen like you did earlier, we can bring it up in free stream here.
We can make it work. Okay.
Yep.
Let me try. Shall I go into slideshow mode first? I guess I will. All right, guys. You heard it here first. In the 15 minutes with Joff, we're actually going to share just a little teaser on the introduction to Python. All right. Can you see that okay, Ryan?
Okay, I see it. Let's bring it in live full screen right now.
Right. So here it is, Introduction to Python. All right. So the slides are there. The logos are there. It's all happening. And we've got it divided out into modules. Module 1 about Python. And you can see here I'm going to talk about the language a little bit, the design philosophy of the language, about some of the Python releases, a little bit about the PEP enhancement proposal stuff, a little bit of installation stuff. So I'm really trying to go from the ground up here, how to use Python on the command line a little bit, about the interpreter itself. You even get to learn a little bit about the bytecode compiler. I mean, just lots of really cool Pythonic things, right? And
Pythonic.
Pythonic, that's right, Pythonic things. And as a part of this, an additional part of this, and you're going to love this too, we're going to put together, I'm stopping sharing briefly, and see if I can find another window, in our Meta CTF platform, which is the CTF platform that we use for the Black Hills cyber training. All right. I am going to, more than likely, put together the CTF for the Python class. Yes. So for example, I'm going to show another screen real quick. Wow. Let's see here. Going to share screen or try. You heard it here first. So the MetaCTF platform is going to have some of the Python problems on it. For example, what Python enhancement proposal addresses coding style conventions? And you can answer the question. And I've actually been practicing here on some of my own questions. Write a Python statement to convert the number 123 to base 20. Ooh, let's try that. Int 123 base 20. Nope, I guess I got that wrong. Your instructor should be fired. Try print int 123 20. All right, see, I've clearly got to do some work here. I'm not doing very well. But anyway, just to give you that little sense, we will have a CTF as part of the introduction to Python class, and it's, look, I got to tell you, it's going to be so much fun. We're gonna have a heck of a lot of fun with it, and we're gonna do a lot of coding, and we're really going to try to learn some things together. That's the whole idea. So, yeah,
awesome. So there's a quick look at what's coming for Antisyphon.
Yeah.
And what do we call it? Q1? Is that how we call it?
I would say Q1 23 is what we're gonna do that. So tell all your friends and. Come learn some Python with me, and we will have a bunch of fun together. And hopefully I can do us all a good service in that, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. Anyway.
Awesome.
After
While we're here...
Oh my God, I got to call out this comment. Tim J says, after that, Perl, please. Oh, Tim. No, we are not teaching a Perl class, my friend. If we could roll back the clock into the early mid-90s, maybe
I hate myself.
Do that. But yeah,
he's regretted the comment.
Yeah. Now, if I have enough time, I've been trying to work out how I can genetically clone myself. But my wife has actually got significant opposition to this idea, which I don't blame her. I mean, because one of me is plenty enough, believe me. But if I have enough time at some point next year, I would like to write a Golang class as well. But we have some other people, so maybe some other folks will jump in there and do some Golang as well. So I tend to have a developer bone in me, so it's good to write these sort of classes. Yeah.
Are there any questions for Joff now that we've got him here? Here's your moment to do an AMA.
Right. So we have quick. Sorry, scratching my nose. We have all of 10 minutes or so. Ask me anything you want with that is Infosec focused within reason. Let's not get too crazy. Let's not get personal or anything. Shoot, ask me a question or three. All right. We're waiting with bated breath.
We probably should ask that like 10 minutes ago and then did the rest of the demo. But we're doing it live.
Yeah. All right. Well, what can I say? I'll say this. I'll say this much. Course authorship, if you ever have considered teaching, it is a noble thing to do, but course authorship is incredibly difficult task, and actually teaching people is an incredibly difficult task as well. It takes quite a long time to develop those skills to do it. However, I shouldn't discourage you. The more of us that are involved at rolling up our sleeves and actually teaching other people effectively, the better we're going to be as an industry. So, all right. Hoax Paragon asks, can you still get MSF Venom packages past malware detection? Joff. MSF Venom is an excellent way to generate machine code, aka shell code, for doing lots of interesting things. The answer to that question is absolutely. You can put shellcode into its own loader, you can encrypt it, you can get it into memory, and you can get it past almost any malware detection that you want to. You just have to be a little bit creative. Static analysis itself looking at the shellcode byte sequences actually on disk, in memory, is something that you can bypass. You just have to do a little extra work to get you there, and mostly that involves doing encryption of the shellcode in any disk images or as they come across the network, and it should be encryption that where the key is, obviously not known, right? All right, what Python book do you recommend for blue teams? Hey, that's a tough question. Michelle asked that. I don't have a specific book recommendation for blue teams in the Python world. There is such a rich source of information about the Python programming language out there that some of that question is really dependent on the context that you're kind of trying to operate in. If you were, for example, going to try to go down the road of programming against RESTful JSON APIs to do maybe some defensive solution integration, then it could be simple as just learning about Python's requests module and learning some HTTP and just get busy with it, right? Get yourself a project is one thing that Ange31D just suggested, and learn from there. That's a really, really good idea. Timmy Tim says, not to try to make it a software problem, but are there any course authoring frameworks or tools that you would recommend? What a great question. Course authoring really depends on the goal that you're going after. Honestly, I have never really wanted to pull away from sort of the slideshow kind of format. PowerPoint I find to be still very effective, or its equivalents in the cloud. I mean, you certainly can use other slide software that's out there and do very, very well. When you're doing course authoring, the real trick and the real key is to break up the course into manageable modules, is what I call them. I mean, you've got to have learning modules with learning objectives, and then you have to have really solid labs that go behind those modules with, to reinforce those learning objectives. That's the pattern that we use when we're doing course authorship. Do you see a big switch from Python to Go in the future? Is a question that Gyro asks. Or J-Ro, perhaps. I'm not sure I have the pronunciation of your name correctly. That really depends on the task at hand. I would say it's more of a case of use the right tool for the right job at the right time. Python's weaknesses are that it does not have a great deal of performance, especially when it comes to multiprocess and multi-threading and very high intensity computational tasks. But its advantages are that Python, you can produce working code at a very high level very, very quickly, which gives you this huge advantage if you need a proof of concept to do something and get it out the door in a hurry. Pen testing, for example, or even defensive operations when you need to get something out the door in a really big hurry. If you need to write some code that has a great performance on just about any platform you can execute it on, you really cannot beat Golang or even native C these days. The beautiful thing about Golang is I like to call Golang basically what C should have become. It's basically C with the appropriate garbage collection, so you don't have to worry about cleaning up after yourself as a developer. So I think Golang, for a high-performance language with very good modular structure and high level of programmability and high level of third-party module integration stuff, is a fantastic language because it's got that performance concurrency as well. Golang's concurrency for multi-threading is incredibly highly performant, which is fantastic. Wow. All right. Lots of great questions. Well, look, we are coming up to the top of the hour. So thanks for spending 15 minutes plus plus with Joff and Ryan, and we'll. I think we will just kind of wrap it up. Do we have any final things that we need to say, Ryan?
I think we covered everything we need to say. And my cat has just woken up and is trying to get my attention. So it's a great time to wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you all for coming.
I do have one more thing to say. I may, and I want to throw this idea out to you, I may, another teaser, start doing periodic tech segments that just might become sort of 10 minutes with Joff from time to time. So if anybody's interested in that kind of idea, watch for it. I don't know how we're going to brand it, but I think people like to just sort of sit around and, I don't know, chat back and forth with some people that have been in the industry a while and that have some skills. So I think it would be a lot of fun. All right. Excellent. Thanks for coming, everybody.
All right. And as we say, I'm going to kill this with fire. Till next time, guys, which may be tomorrow. I think, yep. I think we got one scheduled tomorrow.